Good morning. We're here. We're going to listen to Judith read her Where I'm From poem. She's the fourth person to join me, and I'm so thrilled to have her. She should be here any minute. I hope that you all are having a good morning. Judith and I did practice with Instagram Live, but this is our first one, so hopefully she'll be here soon. If she isn't here soon, I have my own poem that I can read because I haven't read it here. I have it in case it's just me. But good to see you this morning. Here she is. Okay, Judith, I'll invite you to join. Hi, we did it.
We did it.
I knew we could. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm very excited to hear your poem this morning. It's a good way to get us into this holiday weekend.
I
So did
changed
you?
at least 3 words.
Okay. Luckily, I didn't memorize it, so I'm not going to be, surprised. I'm ready to hear your reading, unless there's anything you want to say before you start.
No, I'm ready to go.
Okay, go for it.
Where I'm from one knife, cuts all. Red leather sheaths protecting blade and fingers. From sunlight soap, potassium, permanganate, and vim. I am from met de Vlaamse slag. Clean enough for the eye. Artistic, bohemian, a raven's nest. I am from reading under the elms. Dandelion stains, daisy chains, and horse manure. Earthy, solid, fertilizing. I'm from New Year's Eve, starting the morning of the 31st. Red beet herring salad, canned salmon, Genever, and refusing to kiss. From JP with the golden hands, and 20 years younger, doe-eyed Nita. I'm from volatile and patient. From Passover Seder to Christmas carols and pagan prayers. I'm from the sandy North Sea beach and Prague in the east. I'm from slow-cooked offal, snapping beans and peeling oranges and apples countless ways. I'm from coffee black or olé, mocha cake and kugel with pears. From the grandmother with a black purse, the other who refused to wear the cloak of mourning, young widow with 3 teens and a 20-year-old after the flu of 1918 took her husband without warning. I'm from diamond cutting, quatre mains, and pencil pushing. I'm rough, out of hiding, and eager to shine.
Thank you, Judith. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
What was your experience working on this or writing it?
I was surprised.
In what way?
I don't usually work with templates.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the imagery was coming to me pretty quickly and took me back to my childhood. Mm-hmm. And I have that knife here.
Oh, wow.
I actually went to look for it this morning, couldn't find it, but here it is. So that's the knife that cuts all. And
there's a lot of history in that knife.
Yes.
Yeah. That's powerful. We have a old knife here as well. It's there's something about the handle and the blade. It's really it takes you back to a different time, for sure.
And holding it, well, I feel really connected to my father. He had it on the table next to his plate, and he opened letters with it. He would show me how to peel an orange and cut an orange, and he would clean the nails of his fingers with it.
Yeah. Yeah. They didn't have like we do, where we have a whole thing of knives. They didn't have a butcher block full of knives. They had a good knife that did all the things. Yeah.
I think my parents did have all kinds of knives, but I think he took this knife with him as a soldier in World War I.
Wow.
Imagine that.
Yeah. It's hard to imagine. I mean,
yeah, my father was born in 1898.
wow. Wow. He saw a lot in his life. That's a really historic time to live through. So many changes.
And he lived through the Holocaust too.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you find that you were flooded with thought? Did you find that you took a specific direction with what you remembered or what you chose to write down? Or did it feel inclusive, or did you feel like you had a point of view about it, or how did you experience that?
I definitely went to my childhood, and I wanted others to be able to see imagery, even if it's their own, that will connect them to my story, makes them perhaps remember their own dandelion stains, and who knows, maybe they will write the poem next.
That's the hope, right? Is that it encourages people to write their own stories, because we all have a story.
Exactly.
And I think sometimes we forget the importance of our own story.
True. And we also sometimes need people who give us a hand or show us the way, like you did. I'm so tickled to be with you, with this new, well, it's not so new medium, but it's new for me to be on a live Instagram conversation.
It's fun. I think it's going to be a lot of people. This is their first one. I'm going to be, I'm getting better at, okay, we got to practice and then we do it. And, but now once you've done one, can just do as many as you like. No fear. You can just do it. It's not, the not knowing can be a barrier. And, now it's not. So.
Exactly. This is somewhat of a podcast, isn't it, for you?
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's just without the editing, which is the upside. It just is live, and then we can share it, which is about the level of time that I have to do, so to give to it. So it works well for me. Plus, I like the sort of impromptu interaction of it. It's completely unscripted, and we just chat, and I like hearing people's stories, and without the prompt, without the template, it takes a long time to get to these things in a conversation. It may never come to these things in a conversation. So I love the shorthand of the poetry. I feel like I know each person who shares their poem with me so much better because of it. I mean, and that's such a gift to me, because I find small talk a bit tedious, if I'm being honest. So it's like, oh, great. I don't need to do that. I can just become friends with people and get to know them in this format, which to me is a joy.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're a screenwriter, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, that's your gateway into the writing world is screenwriting. Yeah. So what made you take a poetry workshop?
Well, it was funny. I took the workshop because of another woman, Binder, who's this writing group that many of us are in. She posted about this workshop she was doing. It's actually about health. It's about being a oh gosh, what's the word they use? I'm going to blank on it. But it's about being more involved in the healthcare system and sharing our stories as patients and providers as a way to become advocates. And this was the exercise she used one of the exercises to get people to start talking about themselves, because a lot of the people involved aren't writers. And so it's to get them to just kind of open up to the process of telling their own stories. And I, as many of us, took a writing course at one point. It was a poetry course, and I was told I wasn't good at it. And I think many people have had that experience where they take a course that's artistic in some way, and they're told like, oh, this isn't really for you. You know, you're not really good at this. And I definitely had that in the poetry class. And so writing this was a great experience for me personally, and it was also cathartic. Like, that was one person's opinion of my writing. They don't make decisions about my creative life. I do. And I thought, how many of us have that same experience with poetry? How many of us think, oh, well, I'm not good like that. I'm not that kind of writer. So I just was like, well, this would be fun. We'll see if people join me. I hope people join me, and people have. And it's really, I love getting poems in my inbox. It's a real privilege. And so that's the answer.
Yeah, you're so welcoming. I really appreciate it. Very relaxed, really good interviewer too, I think.
Oh, thanks, Judith. I appreciate that.
Have I heard your poem? No.
I posted it like on the original post. So I was thinking one of these days I'll do one of those separately. I had it on the backup in case you didn't show up. I was like, well, if Judith doesn't show up, it's going to be my backup. I'll read mine. But I'm going to just do that one of these days. Just pop on here and do it. But
if you want to do it and you want a sparring partner, I'll be happy to get you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll schedule that. That would be a joy. Let's do that.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts before we sign off?
Yeah, I'm in a Toastmasters group, and I'm if I say or ah or okay or I, then I get marked for one of those words. So I said
You'll hear about later. They can come watch the recording and they can grade you later. Get back to you with You can send it to them and say, for your review, let me know what you think. I thought you were glorious, and I appreciate you sharing your poem with us. And I look forward to, let's see if we have any comments. We have thank you and yes and yay and hearts and hand claps. And so I am not the only one who enjoyed it. Everyone enjoyed it. And thank you for taking the time and sharing this part of yourself with us. We are grateful.
Thanks for inviting me. It's wonderful. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to hearing all the other brave souls who come on camera.
Me too.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too. Bye.
Now what?
I end and then I'll post it.
Okay.